Emmie. Lunch. Brianna and I have regular seats in the cafe. We're in the back, near the ice cream freezer. We sit at the same table as Sophia Gresser, Lizzie Freed, and a few other kids from our club, except there are about 3 empty seats between us and them. Our club kids, token emo kid. Rye and I both eat packed lunches. Rye because she's a picky eater. It's not that she has any allergies or anything. She just eats only like 3 or 4 foods. Plain pizza, sausage pizza, and Hawaiian pizza. Oh yeah, and vanilla yogurt covered in peanuts, which is weirdly specific. I'm gonna tell her that she's not 6 years old and should try other things, but Bri would probably just scoff and make a face at my eggplant quinoa salad. I can't really blame her for that. As for me, well, it's my mom. She doesn't really control what or how much I eat, but what she does control is what comes in the house. That means no chips, no cookies, no processed meats, no processed anything, and no sodium benzate. And not sure what that is. At least I'm allowed to buy lunch once a week, and I have to use my allowance. And since I spent it on a new sketch pad, I'm eating tonight's eggplant quinoa salad. The cafeteria is jam-packed because both 7th and 8th graders use it. You'd think the loud, crowded, clinky calf would give me a major stress issue, but since Brianna is with me, I don't mind it much, except when she's at home sick or something. That's when I had it in the library. Today, our little corner is louder than usual. All the students of the month earned free ice cream sandwiches, so the freezer lid slamming is the record high. Partly to distract ourselves and partly for fun, Brianna suggests that we write really gushy, sappy love notes for our crushes. Not that we would give the notes to them or anything. We make up games like this a lot. We've done stuff like mixing a bunch of disgusting cafeteria ingredients and then challenging each other to eat it without gagging. The worst was pizza, cheese, mayonnaise, and froyo. For our favorite game, spork sculpting. Speaking of sporks, we once challenged each other to invent other utensils that would do things at once. We came up with 24. Some favorites: Wishgula, Knorf, Schradel. Today I agreed to go along with the love note game. We think for a few minutes and jot down some thoughts. The cornier the better. We can try to outdo each other. 10 minutes later. Ready? Oh man, almost. Done. I'll read mine first. Standard Bri bossiness. You're the moon in my eye, the apple of my pie. She reads a few more silly stanzas. I'm giggling wildly. Trade. So funny. Hey, this is kinda beautiful. Thanks. Apparently mine is more honest gushy than funny gushy. I think he'd actually kinda like it. Yeah, right. You should talk to him, Em. Seriously. If you talk to Anthony. What would you say? Hi Tanner, here's a love note. You can read it after I move to Alaska. And you? Hi Anthony, I love you. Please don't spit, or throw up, or move to Alaska. The bell suddenly rings. I grab her notes and shove them into my English binder. I have health next, but I gotta stop at my locker first, so I rush out. Lunch. My friends and I have a sweet seat in the caf, right in the middle of everything. There's so many of us, we're allowed to move 2 tables together. Table 1, volleyball girls, gossip girls. Table 2, Tyler, basketball players. Tyler is staring at me, but I pretend to not pay attention. Morgan says it keeps the boys interested. Pretending to be in a deep conversation, but really talking about YouTube videos. I usually don't like being watched, but when Tyler does it, I feel different, like adored. Still, I try to play it cool, all through lunch. When the bell rings, I rush out and stop by my lockers. I grab my books and freshen my lip gloss. Hurry, Katie! Next thing I know, Joe bumps into me. Ow! Hey, what's that? A love poem. It's for Tyler Ross. What? I think that quiet girl dropped it. See, there's a drawing too. Emmie. By the time of day, my stomach knots have usually subsided. Sure, it takes about 4 hours for that to happen, but a victory is a victory. So when I walked to my locker to exchange my books and put away my lunch bag, I walked a little taller. Of course, I'm putting my head at risk, but my mom and yoga lady would be proud of my blooming spine. As soon as I get to health class, Mr. Booman announces that the heat has gone into the next room, and we have to relocate to the library while it's being fixed. Says we'll have free time until we get back. Sorry people, this is just for a little while. This is good news. I love the library. It's super quiet and peaceful. My kind of environment. Plus, the librarian loves me. Hi, Emmie. Guess what? We have a new book on modern artists. We walk into the library, and double good news. Hey, Bri, what are you doing here? Study hall. My teacher lets me come to the library sometimes. This is so cool. Bonus Bri time. We huddle together at a table. Too bad I put away those love notes. We could have worked on them. I've got to study anyway. You're the only one who actually studies during study hall. You should too. You have a science test in a week. Yeah, next week. We settle on an agreement. Brianna will study and I will sketch her. Maybe I'll absorb some of her information if I concentrate hard enough. Bri isn't always the most patient person, but she'll let me draw her while she studies or does homework. Probably because she's so focused she barely notices anything else. Oh, that's really good. Thanks. But you should make my lips a little bigger and my hair longer. Some things don't change. When I sketch for a long time, something happens. My mind starts to drift off. It's like when people say they're driving and it's a total checkout and they remember where they got from point A to point B. That's how it is with me. My hand just does what it's supposed to while my mind floats somewhere else. Argentina, my house 2 days ago, Japan. Right now, it's floating back in time, to the weekend. It was nothing really special, but I did hang out with Brian Saturday. Her dad had to run errands, so she dropped her off at the afternoon. We played board games and watched YouTube videos mostly. We also talked. I wish you could be like this every day, Em. Huh? You actually talk. With me, anyway. And you're funny. You should loosen up around people. Stop it, B. I'm serious. It's not hard, you know? I don't want to talk about this, okay? Okay, but you know I'm right. Yeah, of course she's right. And I do get tired of being, well, me sometimes. But I can't stand when Bri gets righteous and bossy about it. It's easy for her. I know she's a little nerdy, but she's also outgoing and attracts friends. And she's smart. So naturally, she has more things to say. My parents always tried to get me to open up too. Especially my mom, who's pretty chatty. Then again, she talks enough for the both of us. So I found this new recipe in my vegan cookbook. A little on the soapy side, but I don't know. But it's full of omega-3. I'm more easygoing around my parents, but I don't exactly tell them my secrets. There's no way. That's just too embarrassing. Sometimes I think it's easier to stay quiet. There's no drama. I can be left alone to daydream or draw. But other times it really bothers me. I guess that's why I get the queasy stomach feeling. Bri coughs and my mind jolts back to the present. Hey, that really looks like me. Thanks. Except for the eyes, ears, and nose. Can you change them? Settle down, girls. Sorry. I really don't have time to think about what happened. I'm late for health as soon as I arrive. Relocating to the library. Sorry, people. It's just for a little while. Keep it quiet in the halls, folks. Yes. When we get there, my peeps and I snag a cozy table in the back. Perfect for sneak texting. Brian and I have our first deep, meaningful conversation. Sup? Nothing new? Nothing, library. Cool. I've never felt this way before, and I sense neither has he. I've never felt like this. Really? Yeah, I think I ate a bad pizza. I noticed that quiet girl in the corner with her BFF, the smart one. What's her name? Brittany? Beyonce? Hey, isn't that the girl who wrote the title? Shh. Taylor keeps texting, but I don't want to lose focus. Let's not talk about her, okay? Look, Taylor sent me a love emoji. You mean that pizza and frowny face? I think it's code. I love you more than pizza. Oh, right. We'll continue analyzing Tyler's romantic texts until it's time to go. See you later. He might as well skywrite I love you over your house. Settle down, girls. Sorry. Emmie. Soon enough, Mr. Bauman announces that he has been fixed. I reluctantly tear myself from the library table and head back to class. Well, this is better. Sometimes health class is interesting. The class on reproduction was pretty entertaining. And sometimes it's downright dull. Food and nutrition. Ugh. With a mother like mine, I could teach a class on that. Today we're continuing a discussion on self-esteem. Mr. Brahman is having us create a collage that describes what we are like as a person and also our hopes and dreams and positive personality traits. I've been pretty stuck. Still, it beats last week when we spent an hour listening to a lecture on body odor. After a few minutes of riffling through 20-year-old magazines, I found some art and crafts stuff and began cutting old pictures. When I see some cute animals and cut out those too. I adore animals. My parents are pet people, so we've never had any, unless you counted goldfish and houseplants. True story, I once tied a string around my mom's mini cactus, pretended it was a puppy, and dragged it around the house. No, prickers and rug hurt. Mr. Bauman comes around to check on collages. He sees mine and kind of scrutinizes for a minute. Talk about under a microscope. Nice, Emmie, but it's looking a little sparse. Oh, you included a few things you like. Maybe add things that describe your personality. Okay. Actually, those gaps kind of do describe my personality. Ta-da! That's it. I need a break. I head across the room to look for more magazines. As I walk past the other desks, I feel like people are watching me. No one ever looks at me. This is kind of upsetting. I wish I had a pile of books to bury my head in. Then again, one of these days it might stick there. I start to hear this slow, weird snickering behind me. Not really sure, but I think it's Joe Lango. He's always goofing around. If you're wondering about Joe Lango, I didn't know him until I got to middle school. He had gone to an elementary school across town, the one that's actually on a lakefront. Because our middle school is so big, they divide each grade into teams with our own teachers. Joe Lango is on the 6th grade team, the periodic tabletops. With my usual luck, he landed on my 7th grade team. He's pretty obnoxious. The boys like him because he's a jokester. The girls can't stand him. It's hard to tell if he's going to be one of those people who outgrows his obnoxiousness or carries out with his adulthood. No one is safe from Joel. I try to stay out of his way, but it's hard when he sits near me in class. He zeroes in on people's weaknesses, and I have plenty. Anyway, back to the snickering. Your dark eyes sparkle like pools of stars. When you smile, my word goes electric. Joseph Lango, quiet down. Sorry, Mr. Broman. Holy horror. I know that poem. It can't be it. No. Mr. Brahman, I don't feel good. Can I go to the restroom? Sure, Emmie. You look pale. I raced to the girls' bathroom. Mine, I just had a chili dog. I hid in another stall and cried for like 10 minutes. I can't believe this is happening. The note. How did he get the note? Not only my fresh joke bait for Joe Lango, but his friends with Tyler Ross. That means he's probably already showed the note to him. The only thing I can do is beg Joel to give it back. But what good would that do? It's already out there. I'm the laughstock of this school. I'm finished. I am toast. I'm flaming scorched, dropping on the floor toast. Someone knocks on my stall. Emmie? Back in health, we're doing collages on self-esteem. I admit it's hard fitting in my likes, hopes, and dreams on a 14x17 sheet of paper. Wow. Luckily, I managed to finish ahead of schedule. This gives me time to dwell on the latest hall happenings. For instance, Jolenko and the note. It's for Tyler Ross? What? At first, I wonder if people will think he wrote it himself as a practical joke. But no, scratch that. The note is good, mushy, but well structured. I have an A in English. Plus Joe's horrible at writing. Joseph Lanko, I hope you do better next time. Anyway, Emma never did anything to him. Poor thing barely exists to him. So yeah, they'll know she wrote it. I say one thing about the quiet girl, and she has great taste. I notice Emmie getting up and walking to Mr. Bauman's desk. There's all this snickering from Joelle. Your dark eyes sparkle like pools of stars. Oh no. I excuse myself to use the restroom. Hey, you okay? What are you doing here? I just want to check on you. That Joe is a jerk. Yeah, thanks. I feel a weird need to help this girl. Maybe because she's such a quiet thing. I feel kind of sorry for her. I'll walk you back if you want, or I'll tell the teacher is sick. It's okay, I'll go back. She's pretty upset. I'd be too. But I'd also plot some kind of payback. Maybe you can TP his house or put toothpaste in his Oreos or something. When we get back, Mr. Bauman is wrapping up his post-project speech. That means the boys were keeping their traps shut. Looks like I have a new mission now. Emmie, I'm dying, dead, gone. My life is over. But first I have to go to Spanish. The good news, it's right next door to her class, and none of those boys, including Tyler Ross, are in it. The bad news, I've been humiliated into a pile of slime. See Epilogue. Can the situation get any worse? Okay, people, pop quiz. The next 40 minutes go by in a slow haze. My mind is inquisitionaquel. I have no idea what's on it. Translation. Your nose is orange like fish breath? Now I have to walk all the way across the building to history class. I take my 10 deep breaths and race at the door before anyone else. I probably run faster than I did during sprint day in gym. I can't believe Joe Lango bared my soul to Tyler Ross. There's no way I can face anyone at school, especially you-know-who. Orange is your plate like flames of love. We show Tyler your notes. Just when my nightmare can't get any worse. Hi. But now you're probably wondering why I'm not jealous of Emmie. I mean, she did write my BF a love poem. Truth is, she's nice and all, but she's not exactly threatening. Hi. Emmie. I really take my time getting to class. I take a different route than usual. To my extreme belief, most of the kids in the swing are 6th graders who wouldn't know me from their armpits. I check my phone. A little past 1 o'clock. 3 classes to get through until I can go home. History, math, and art. I have a feeling this is going to be the longest 2.5 hours of my life. Not that it matters if I'm dead anyway. I slink plus cover, up the stairs of history. When I'm not trying to find a hole to crawl into, I think about what just happened with Tyler Ross. Hi. He didn't pretend like I wasn't there and swimmer past me like this. He didn't smirk or crack a joke at my expense to cover up his own embarrassment like this. Nice to know, whoever you are, we're thinking of publishing it in the yearbook. No, he said, hi. But why? Does he feel bad about what happened? Does he feel sorry for me? Or does he maybe like the note? No, that definitely can't be it. I decide Tyler, the sweet guy that he is, was being nice to Emmie out of sympathy. I think I'll keep helping her. Emmie, wait up. Look, it's Lover Girl. Go away, Joe. Why do you let him pick on you? I'm trying to ignore him. It's not working. Let him have it. Well, I'm not you. What do you mean? People listen to you, not me. They see you, not me. Well, maybe people don't hear you because you speak so softly, and maybe they don't see you because you walk like you don't want to be seen. Forget it. Thanks. Emmie. I take a last-minute detour and stop by my locker. I just have to check. Yup, it's really gone. It must have fallen out of my English binder after lunch. I'm so stupid. I should have held onto it with both hands. How am I going to face everybody in my next class? If I'm lucky, only a couple people know. I walk with my last half ounce of hope to history. Well, that's the answer. Duolingo must have spread the word faster than wildfire. Don't cry, I tell myself. Easier said than done. It takes every fiber in my body to keep the tears at bay. Plus, my desk is in the middle row. If you think the front is worse in this situation, guess again. At least Mr. Musco starts up right away, and I can take refuge in his monotone. If those kids didn't stop snickering before, they will now. I think the only thing that'll make me feel better is to find Brianna. I really need to talk to her. As if she reads my mind, my phone starts vibrating, and the tiny little window lights up with her number. I hide behind my giant history textbook, flip open my phone, and scroll to Bryce's text. She sounded panicked and upset. Meet after class, usual spot. Panicked and upset. Uh-oh, now what? I put up with Mr. Moscow's deaf drone for 45 minutes and then the bell rings. Then I rip out of the faster than, well... History ends and I walk out with my BFFs. Suddenly, I lose interest in the talk about YouTube makeup tutorials. I think I'll wait for Tyler. After all, he's my BF now. Guys, I'll be right here. This can't be happening. It's Emmie. She's sweet and all, but she's no threat. Shinier hair, more confident, friendlier, more athletic. Right? Emmie. Brianna and I have our favorite meeting spot. It's almost a hideaway. On the second floor of the main hallway, there's this hallway point. It's like a stairwell to nowhere. Now, one time, it did go somewhere, but now a lot of speculations around it. Anyway, it's blocked off now. There's a gate at the landing and a couple of steps beneath it. It's also tucked into a side corner, and most kids forget it's there. Brianna and I have a habit of meeting in this spot whenever there's a crisis. Usually, it's me needing last-minute math help or her needing a last-minute snack. I start carrying around yogurt-covered peanuts in my bag. Or sometimes it's just to talk. But today is different. It's an actual emergency, which is why I need my best friend. How did this happen, Em? Huh? Just as I feared, Duolingo didn't just show it to my classmates, he texted it to everyone. Well, except me, since I have that dumb phone that doesn't receive photos. I started crying. Hard. Bryce sits with me until I calm down a little, but I can tell she's really upset too. He didn't text everyone, just the kids he knows, you know. He had my number from band. So how did this happen? I explained what I know, how the note disappeared, how Joe L. somehow found it and recited it in health class. Wait, you dropped it? No, it fell out of my binder. Em, you had mine too. What? My note. It was with yours, and it had Anthony's name on it. OMG, I forgot I had Bryce's notes. I had picked it up, both of them. Where is it, Em? Where's my note? Did you drop that too? I don't know. I'll check my locker. I can't believe you put it in your binder and not somewhere safe. How can you be so dumb? Hey, it was an accident. Anyway, you're the one who wanted to write them in the first place. So it's my fault? No. Yes. No. Is there a problem, girls? Please go to your classes. Sorry. You better find the note, Em. Otherwise, I don't know if I can forgive you. Okay, so Tyler didn't notice me, and now I'm walking the halls without my BF. I never walk to class alone. What's happening? Emmie. I have to get back to my locker and make sure Brianna's note is still there, even if that means I'm late. I race to the first floor. My hands are shaking so much. I mess up the combination twice. I finally get it right and flipping open the binder. For the second time, I riffle quickly through my binder and phew. I let out a long sigh of relief. Finally, something has gone right today. For a split second, I'm almost glad I dropped my note and not hers. But then I remember how Bryce said she wouldn't forgive me if I lost her note, and suddenly I'm both mad and sad at once. Would she really have ditched me as a friend? I shoot Bri a quick curl text to let her know her note is safe. Then I snap my phone shut and turn it off. I don't feel like hearing back from her. I still have 2 minutes to get to class. All I want to do is stand here or go home, but I don't. Some weird alien force picks me up and guides me to class. Math. I hate math. Tyler Ross is in my class, but he sits towards the back. I sit in the second row, so I can't stare at him. Maybe that's good. I'm already bad at math, and staring would probably make any small thing I do learn blow right out of my brain. Anyway, it doesn't matter because at this point, I really don't want to be anywhere near him. As if it's already bad enough, Joe Lango is also in my class. He sits right in front of Tyler Ross. I'm the last one to class, but luckily, I made it just before the bell rings. Once I sit down, I hear that oh so familiar snickering. Hey Tyler, maybe we should ask her out. How's he gonna ask out on mute? She can't answer. She can draw me a picture. Humiliation complete. I walk into math the exact moment Tyler and his friends embarrass Emmie. She can draw me a picture. That's it. A girl can only take so much. Pass this to Tyler. Okay, class, homework on page 72 and 73. I changed my mind. I don't want to go out with you. Why? Your friends and you are immature and you don't stand up to them. I don't like cowards. Emmie, wait up. Stop. Why are you always trying to save me? What? I can save myself. Emmie. I hide in the girls' restroom until my last class starts. Just have to make it through one more period, I tell myself. Can't help but notice I've been talking to myself a lot today and hiding in the bathroom. Not sure how I managed to get the whole place to myself. Maybe Baked Bean Girl finally exploded. Maybe the makeup crowd decided it's too late in the day to impress anyone. I'm just grateful nobody knows I'm here. I cried to get it all out of my system. I have a surprisingly quick cry, which is good timing since my next class begins soon. I think it's quick because on top of being totally humiliated, I'm mad. Angry crying is faster than sad crying, also more violent. I'm mad at Tyler Ross and his friends. I'm mad at Brianna. Most of all, I'm mad at myself. How could I let this happen? My mom says things usually happen for a reason. I'm still trying to sort that one out. Maybe my emotional wreckage was meant to amuse everyone. If so, mission totally accomplished. I splash water on my face. My eyes are kind of bloodshot, but I don't really care anymore. I've decided that tomorrow I'm going to play sick and then I'm going to move to Singapore or any other foreign city. I just like the way Singapore sounds. I walk down the main floor, through the labyrinth, and head to the back stairwell. The hall is crowded, but I don't even worry about being bumped. People are totally whispering about me, but I can keep my head down and avoid eye contact. Art is my last class. It's in the basement. I'm guessing it's down there because of all the fumes. Normally, it's my favorite class, but now all I care about is making it to the final bell. Today, I'm especially glad it's in the basement because it's away from civilization, aka away from humiliation. More good news, art is an elective, so Joe Lango and most of his other classmates aren't in it. The bad news, Tyler Ross is. He started taking art this year. I wondered why. He is usually into sports. My guess is all the other electives were taken and art is a time filler. I make a promise to myself not to look at him all period and focus on my project. Just one more class to get through. But then, as soon as I reach the top of the stairs, there they are, the fearsome threesome, Tyler Ross, Anthony Randall, and Joe Lango. I stop dead. They see me, I'm trapped. I have to walk past them. I imagine I'm the color of beets. I hate beets. I work up all my nerve to ignore them and step by, but then Joe gets his huge evil grin on his face and opens his mouth. Look, it's Helen Keller. Oh, sorry, not blind and deaf, only mute. I start to get really warm, like there's a fire kindling in my face. But it's not embarrassment, it's something else. Then the unexpected happens. Stop it, Joe. Whoa, did it speak? It's a miracle. Tell you what, I'll stop if you draw a picture of you and Tyler making out. Then something really unexpected happens. Shut up, Joe. For a while, Tyler and I can't stop laughing. It's like all this pent-up stuff inside finally bursts out. I guess Tyler was fed up with Joe Lango too. After a minute or so, we start to calm down. I don't know what to say, but I'm still laughing a little. It feels good. Tyler asks me if I'm heading down to art. I say yes. Wanna walk together? Okay. To my extreme relief, he doesn't talk about the note. My heart's nearly pounding out of my chest though. It pounds so hard, I feel like it's gonna make Tyler's freckle curl jump off his face. He asks if I finished our assignment. We've been working on it for so long, it's taken up our whole quarter. Hesitantly, I pull out my drawing and show it to him. Almost. It's a still life Zental, see? Cool, it's so good. Here's mine. Wow. It's a landscape Zental, but it's like a Van Gogh sky and some mountain goats and stuff. It's really good. I'm so surprised. I didn't know Tyler was such a good artist. I messed up on this part though, and I have to finish the sky. No, it's great. I didn't know you were such good at art. Yeah, I got into it a couple years ago. I like sketching animals and buildings and stuff. I like sports too. I've practiced a lot, so I've only had time to draw at home. Anyway, this year I finally had room in my schedule for art. I think I'll take it next year too. Oh, cool. I decide then and there that I'm going to try to put my humiliation away for a while. I'm just so tired of feeling bad about everything that happened. Maybe it's working because suddenly I kind of forget that I was embarrassed. In fact, I forget a bunch of things. Art class. Emmie. In art class, all the desks are pushed together to form a big square. That's why if we're doing still life or something, it can be set up in the middle of the square and painted from all angles. Today we're working on our Zentals. They're due right before winter break. Miss Laurie is going around the room checking on everyone's progress. Tyler's talking to me. I can't believe it. I just noticed, doesn't this butt look like a cloud? Very nice, Sarah, but I would add more detail. I'm sort of forgetting about the incident. Tyler makes it easier by joking around. And I'm kind of joking back. Maybe it's a full moon. For some reason, I find that my heart is not beating as fast as before. It's weird talking to him, but it also feels kind of natural, like hanging out with Bri. I can't believe I'm saying this, but you gotta keep it down, Emmie. You too, Tyler. Back to your seat. Okay. Sorry. Wow, I was so busy talking I forgot to be nervous. I'm disappointed he has to go back to his seat because it's on the other side of the square. But then the girl next to me says something. Hey, that's really good. Thanks. Can you help me? I'm having trouble thinking of a pattern for this part. Okay, sure. It's really good. I think some zigzags or swirls would go near the flower. Oh yeah, thanks. I'm Sarah. I know you're in my history class. Emmie. Were you the girl with the notes? Oh no. Yeah. The whole thing was just so stupid. I don't know why Joe was making such a big deal out of it. You obviously wrote it as a joke. Really? That's what you think? Sure, that's what everybody thinks. I feel better. Sarah and I keep talking. It's time about our horrible history homework, an upcoming test, how unfair it is that we can't use oil paints yet, the school's art show. We both want to make it in. Sarah predicts that she probably won't, and I definitely will. With surprise, I realize I haven't just talked to one new person, but two. Me. 2 people. And one was a boy, and it didn't melt into a pool of goo or burst into flames or anything. To think, this morning I could barely mutter "excuse me" to those boys in my locker. Coming along nicely, Emmie. Thanks. Maybe it's not as hard as I thought. Something's happening to me. I try to speak, but I can't. I walk down the hall, but no one says hi or joins me. Tyler acts like I don't exist now. It's like I'm becoming invisible or something. Emmie. The unthinkable. The bell rings and I'm walking out with 2 new friends. At least I think they're new friends. I hope so. See you tomorrow. Bye. Bye. I go over the day in my head. I feel better, not so crushed. My head hasn't had the knots since last period. I'm even walking taller. My spine must be breathing. Uh-oh. Boys. But so what? They're just boys. Excuse me. Sorry. Wait a minute. You're that note girl. Yeah. Did you enjoy it? It was totally hilarious. You should do more. If you're lucky, next one's yours. Him first. See ya. Wow, I think I'm actually okay. I start to walk out, but all of a sudden, I remember something and get a little lonely. Listen, I'm sorry about before. I should have gotten so mad about the note. I was just scared that mine got out. I should have been there for you, but I wasn't. That was pretty selfish, I guess. It's okay, Brian. You panicked. I get it. Thanks. Hey, wanna come over? I can help you with math. Okay, I'll text my mom. By the way, Anthony said hi to me and he didn't spit. We head onto Brianna's bus to find seats. Is that your sketchbook? What'd you draw today? My Zentile. It's almost done. Cool. What are those? Just a couple of sketches I did in class. Who's that? She's pretty. Just a random girl. You don't draw random people. You draw specific people. And hands. Okay, just don't laugh. So this is new. I'm all alone. But strangely, I'm not sad. Or mad. Or anything, really. Emmie's okay without me. So is everybody else. No pressure to be popular, liked, or sought for advice. I can just be myself. For the first time, I feel kinda free. Emmie. I tell Brianna the whole truth. How I've always wanted to be smart, pretty, popular, gutsy, and athletic. So you made up another you? Sort of. Sometimes she had the kind of life I had. And sometimes she just helped me deal with stuff. In my head, when I couldn't say something, she said it for me. Why? Your friends are immature and you don't stand up to them. I don't like cowards. When I couldn't defend myself, she did it for me. Go away, Joe. And when I was upset, she made me feel better. That joke is a jerk. Yeah, thanks. But for the first time, I think I'll be okay without her. The bus engine starts up and I feel my seat vibrate. I look over at Brianna. I worry she thinks I'm nuts. In case you're wondering, I don't think you're nuts. Really? I mean, we're all a little nuts, right? This was just your way of coping. Suddenly, I'm grateful for my brainiac friend. I realize she's not just book smart, but also feelings smart. I look back at the window so she doesn't see me getting all misty again. Well, I'm sorry you had such a rotten day. Yeah, it started out that way. It's okay. But then who would have thought things would turn out around? Or that I'd be the one to do it. Actually, me, for a change, and no one else. It ended pretty well. Epilogue. And you thought it was over. So that's the story of how I changed from a human into a puddle of slime back into a human again. And it didn't end there, actually. I went to Brianna's and then my mom picked me up on her way home from work. I even managed to get my math homework done with Bry's help. I also gave her her note back. She stashed it in a safe spot. So here I am, sitting in the car with my mom. She's telling me about her day. Then she asks me about mine. I pause. Should I tell her what happened? At first I think, nah, the whole thing is too embarrassing. Then I think, then again, she is always trying to get me to open up. Maybe she'll be proud of the way I handled it. Besides, I don't have to tell her everything. I take a deep breath. I made new friends. You'll never guess how.